nations this week, with a lot of nations looking at, of course, the World Cup qualifying campaign. But 4 nations have got bigger plans. And then, of course, the conclusion of the UEFA Nations League. And we'll talk about that and more next. Oh, yes, and we're live. That's right, boys, back once again with another video today. We're looking forward to the UEFA Nations League. The semi-finals are back, of course, and we'll take a look at that in just a second. A big shout out to my VIPs, and if you're new, where you been, smash your subscribe button, get your bang out today with all things UEFA Nations League related, Blackburn Rovers related, world football related. We got it all here under one rooskies. And of course, we are live, taking a look at, of course, the UEFA Nations League, and we'll get to that in just a second. Of course, we've been talking about it, we've been covering it from the initial concept way back when. Of course, now we're back for this week's live, semi-finals, of course, on the channel. So if you do, smash your subscribe wherever you're watching on Twitter, Twitch, Facebook, and of course, get involved with the chat right here, right now. And again, we are live. So we're going to jump in the deep end, of course. What we're doing here today is, of course, going to have a look at the semi-finals. We do have an active predictions league for the Nations League, but I'm not going to give you the results from that right now because it's old school and it's going to take me a little bit of time to bring you bang up today. But I've still got all the documents, I've still got all the paperwork. So we will do that later. However, for the rest of this Nations League, there will be a link where you go in and you put your predictions in, and we'll take a look at that in a minute. But of course, let's take a little look at how we got to this stage then, shall we? Of course, recap the state of play for the Nations League tables way back when. Of course, how we got to here. Of course, there are 4 nations in the semi-finals, and I'll showcase you all about them in just a second. So here are a recap of those groups. In Group A, League A, Group 1, it was Italy coming out on top. Of course, one unbeaten campaign, played 6, won 3, drew 3. They are through to the semi-finals. The teams in their group, of course, Netherlands, the Poland, and the Bosnia-Herzegovina, I think were relegated to League B. Into Group 2, though, for the League A was Belgium. They came through with 1 blip on the resume, just 1 defeat. Denmark, of course, were up there alongside England. Iceland, of course, is subsequently relegated, got no points on the board in their qualifying in the Nations League group phase. Into Group 3, it was France coming through and eliminating, of course, last time out champions. That's, of course, Portugal, of course, were the defending champions. They are now out. Sweden got relegated to Group B, and of course Spain came out on top over Germany, of course. Now, if Germany had made the semi-finals, the question is, would Joachim Löw still be here, or would it still be Hansi Flick in charge? But anyway, it doesn't really matter. We're not talking about them today. Talking about Spain, they go through. Ukraine also relegated. We'll elaborate on that in a minute. Let's go down the ladder here. Austria came out on top. I think they're going to get promoted as well. Norway, Romania, Northern Ireland, Czech Republic topped Group 2 in League B. Slovakia were relegated. Hungary top 3. Turkey, oh my goodness gracious me, they look like they're down to Group C now. Wales coming out top over in Group 4 there, with Bulgaria tumbling down to League C. Nozzy Roy Brother says, well, do European qualifiers 7.2? They are uploaded. They will be probably coming out in the next hour or so. Meanwhile, Montenegro came out on top in League C Group 1. Cyprus relegated. Armenia topped Group 2. Estonia relegated. Slovenia topped Group 3. Moldova relegated. Of course, Albania topped Group 4. Kazakhstan relegated to this one, which is, of course, there's another one there. What have we got going on there? Have we done that twice? We've done that twice. And then League D saw the Faroes go through, and Gibraltar, I think they got through. They got promoted as well, of course. We'll elaborate on that in a minute. In fact, we'll elaborate on that now. Of course, we're going to be looking ahead a little bit to the next Nations Leagues, which, of course, I think kicks off next year. So the teams that made the final were France, Belgium, Italy, and Spain. We'll look at that in a bit more detail. What else do we have in here? Portugal, Netherlands, the Danes, and Germany are in second from their groups. This is kind of clarifying what we're seeing. England, Poland, Switzerland, and Croatia will complete the 3rd team. And, of course, the next time the Nations League, the new boys will be Wales, Austria, Czech Republic, and Hungary. Now, those teams, what are they? 4, 8, 12, 16 teams will be divided into 4 pots, of course, later on. Meanwhile, into the 2nd tier on this one, these are the 16 teams here. Of course, like I said, Slovenia, Montenegro, Albania, and Armenia go get promoted to join the likes of Scotland, Norway, of course, who have got the golden generation as well. Into the teams going down, though, Turkey, Slovakia, Bulgaria, and Northern Ireland go down, and the likes of Cyprus or Estonia. I'm not too sure what's going on here. Kazakhstan, Moldova, maybe there's a playoff going on somewhere, somehow. somehow. Gibraltar and the Faroes got promoted as well. And then the final, the shitty group here, as you can see, Andorra, San Marino, Latvia, for sure, Malta, Liechtenstein will be joined by, again, the losers, I think, of these games here. But Moldova, of course, buoyed on by the Sheriffs participation in the Champions League. Now, if you want to get involved with the Prediction League right here, right now, like I said, we're going to continue on from the last Prediction League, which I don't have the numbers in front of me, but they do exist. They're out there. Again, if you haven't participated in, it's going to be really just for fun for you guys, but there is sort of a grand scheme of things at the end of it. So there is what we're looking at, four points to be had in left. So it could be make or break for those at the top of the table. But that is the code you're going to use, Cutley/UEFA NL, and that will of course get you to the form. You fill it out just like you do normally on the channel, and then we'll bring you the results next time around, of course, which of course will be the conclusion of the semi-finals. So here we go then. These are those semi-finals. Italy will take on who's that? Spain, of course, and of course Belgium will take on France. So let's take a little look at that first game. It will be Italy versus Spain, taking place at the Giuseppe Mazza. All games taking place in Italy, maybe even the final as well. Of course, Italy are the European champions, and then technically they are the lineal world champions, if you want to look at it a little bit of a weird way. They were the first team to beat France when they won the World Cup back in Russia, and of course they've held that. They've never been beaten since. So Italy are the lineal world champions, the non-official World Cup winners, but they are the official Euro 2020 winners. Up against Spain, of course, who have won pretty much everything under the sun in European and world football. Of course, they haven't won this though. Only one team has won it, but unfortunately they didn't make it. Okay, these two sides played each other 18 times since 1934, 6 wins apiece and 6 draws. It's the mark of the beast. Italy come into this with unbeaten in, however, 37 games, and they haven't lost any of their last 29 home games. As for Spain, they give this 67% form. They won back-to-back heading into this. Their biggest win over Italy was a 4-0 win. The biggest win the other way was a 5-3 win. In fact, in those 18 goals, Spain have scored 30 goals over Italy, and Italy have only scored 26, making around about 1.44 goals game ratio compared to the 1.67 goals game ratio for Spain. Let's take a look at some of the recent encounters then. These two sides, of course, they did play in the Euros, and Italy came out on top 4-2. Of course, that was back in July. Prior to that, Spain did pick up a win way back in 2017. But the away side hasn't won this game since who knows when. I don't even know. It's been a long, long time since the away side came out on top, of course, and they are playing these games in Italy. So I do anticipate, in fact, I'm looking at this, I don't see an away team loss. Away team win in any of these matches going all the way back to 1934. However, over the course of that time, there's only been 6 wins apiece between these two sides. A recap of how they got here, of course, Italy did come out top of League A Group 1, of course, without a defeat, scoring 7 goals, conceding just 2. As for Spain, coming through as well, a difficult group 4 there, one coming out top over Spain with 11 points to Germany's 9 there. But of course, Euro form heading into this one. Italy haven't been great. Of course, they've been grinding out a couple of draws. Spain have been very, very hot and cold on this one, but ultimately it's been played in Italy. I'm going to go with Italy on this one in semi-final, of course, to make it another. Oh my gosh, what have I done here? Go back. Just look at my face. You know what I've done? I've actually skipped a slide here. Just let me just jump in the deep end. It's live TV, folks. It's live bloody TV. What did I do? What did I went for here? It's live TV. We'll get it right. And there we go. There it is. That's my pick. We should have done a live pick. Here it comes. My pick for this semi-final between Italy and Spain. I've gone with a 2-1 win for Italy at home. Of course, it might be a bit of a tight game. Of course, there is no draws in this one. A winner has to be decided for this one. So I'm going to go with Italy to make it through to the final. Another final for them in a very, very good year football, international football for Italy. Who will be there in the final, though? Between Belgium and France. They're going to lock horns at the Allianz Arena, which is over in Turin. Of course, Belgium take on France. A big chance for Belgium to get themselves some silverware for the first time, I think, ever. Heading into this one, they played each other 12 times since 1938. Just 3 wins for Belgium, 5 wins for France, and 4 draws. The biggest win for Belgium over France was a 4-3 win. The biggest win the other way was a 5-0 win. Of course, Belgium coming into this just 1 defeat the past 6 games, 83% form. France coming into this pretty shitty form at the moment. Just 1 win in 6 for them. They've scored 21 goals over Belgium in, of course, of those 12 matches. Just 12 goals were scored by Belgium on the flip side. Let's take a little look at the recent encounters then. The World Cup qualifying, World Cup knockout stage was the last time that these two sides played, and France came out up with a 1-0 win. Of course, they went on to win that World Cup as well. Meanwhile, Belgium did beat them in a friendly not too long ago, but Belgium's last competitive win over France was way back in October 1974 to win over France on this one. Recap of how they got to this stage, because France come out on top over in Group 3 on this one. 16 points, of course, just the one blip on the resume as well. As for Belgium, they came to 15 points on their resume as well, just one blip, and that was, of course, a defeat, of course, as they made it through to the final to take on France in a very, very tight one on this one. So 2-1 for me was my pick for Italy on this one. Who do I think will join them in the final? Well, I'll tell you right here, right now, I'm going to go with a win for Belgium on this one. France's form is hot and cold. I think they're a little bit undecisive of what kind of strategy they want to move forward in international form. They've got, of course, some very, very good players. Mbappe, of course, Verratti in midfield. A lot of key ingredients that could come up to be a creative and successful side once again in the World Cup final. But I think this might be a bridge too far, bridge too soon for France on this one. And I think Belgium have already got the ingredients to make up for a very, very tasty semi-final, maybe in a final push themselves. So, of course, in my eyes, we'll have a final, of course, to look forward to this week, which will, of course, include Italy and Belgium. What do you guys think in the chat? Of course, if you want to show it, check in your prediction, do it right here, right now. But I think it'll be Italy, it will be Belgium. That'll comprise of the UEFA Nations League final, which, of course, will be later on in this international break. Be sure to give the video some love, and, of course, wherever you are in the world, make sure you smash the old thumbs up, smash your subscribe, check the links down below. I'm on Twitter, I'm on Twitch, and, of course, I'm on Facebook. And, again, if you want to support the channel in another way, check out the old Patreon. But that is it. Here's the Nations League, the new group for Albania in League B. I believe so. If you just replay the video, it'll show you in whatever group they landed in. If they were successful with a promotion, they will be in a new tier next time around. Of course, some teams have been relegated. But that's the situation, of course, right here, right now, heading into a very, very busy week. International football, not only in Europe, but around the world. But, of course, make sure you check this video out. Make sure you give it some love and smash your thumbs up. Smash your subscribe. We'll be back later on, of course. Plenty more international videos coming on the channel today. Of course, if you want those second legs or second matches of the World Cup qualifying, they'll be on the channel today as well. That's it. I do appreciate the love, and of course, I'll see you soon for the next one. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for the old thumbs up, and I'll see you soon. Smash your subscribe. Ciao for now. Have a good day. Have a good weekend. Have a good week. Till then, we're done.